Hello, welcome to Learning Every Day with me, Lisa Aaron. Join our learning circle and subscribe. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be learning about rounding numbers. And you might ask yourself, why do we round numbers? It is a way of simplifying numbers to make them easier to understand and work with. This is done only when the exact number is not needed, and an approximate answer will be okay. If you like this lesson, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more lessons like this. What is rounding? Rounding means making a number simpler but keeping its value close to where it was in the first place. Why do we round numbers? The Joneses were going on a vacation to Dollywood in Tennessee from Ohio. The first day they drove 268 miles. The second day they drove 128 miles. And they made a stop at Aunt June's house 136 miles more out of the way. About how many miles did they drive altogether? Because this problem asks about, we can estimate. We don't need to have the exact number of miles. We can add 268 and 128 and 136 to get 532. That's exact, but we can do a mental math by rounding, and instead do this. Round 268 up to 300, round 128 down to 100, and 136 down to 100. And we come up with 500 miles. It gives us an approximation instead of calculating all the numbers to the exact number. It's just a quicker mental math. That's why we round. And when we round, sometimes we round to the tens place, sometimes we round to the hundreds place. It depends on what we're trying to figure out. Here are some rounding words. Let's say you have story problems like the one we just did. If you see the word estimate, approximately, roughly, ballpark, around, close enough, you know you can round to get the answer. Rounding numbers can involve numbers, money, decimal, and estimating. Rounding can occur in different places within a number. It could be in the thousands column, the hundreds column, the tens column, or the ones column. Here is a rounding poem. Find your number, look right next door. 4 or less, just ignore. 5 or more, add 1 more. If you memorize this poem, it will help you to do all your rounding in the future. Let me show you. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest tens place. That is very important to know which place you're rounding to. The tens place has a 5. The ones place has a 6. Say the poem, find your number. In the tens place, it's a 5. Look right next door. That would be 6. 4 or less, just ignore. 6 is larger than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. Add 1 to 5. All the numbers to the right of 6 become zeros. 56 rounded to the nearest tens place is 60. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest tens place. Say the poem. Find your number. The tens place is a 7. Our number is 478. The tens place is 7. Look right next door. 4 or less, just ignore. 8 is larger than 4, so you go to the next line of the poem. Add 1 to 7, and all the numbers to the right of 8 become 0. Our new number is 480. 478 rounded to the nearest tens place is 480. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest thousands place. Say the poem. Find your number. We have to find it in the thousands place now. The thousands place is a 3. Look right next door. That would be the 5. 4 or less, just ignore. 5 is larger than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. 5 or more, add 1 more. Add 1 to 3 and all the numbers to the right of 3 become zeros. 0, 0, 0. 3,542 rounded to the nearest thousands place is 4,000. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest hundreds place. Say the poem. Find your number. We got to go to the hundreds place. It would be the 7. Look right next door. 4 or less, just ignore. 3 is less than 4, so you leave the 7 alone. 7 stays the same, and the numbers to the right of the 7 become zeros. 732 rounded to the nearest hundreds place is 700. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest thousands place. Find your number. We have to go to the thousands column. It would be 5. Look right next door. 4 or less, just ignore. We have a 2. 2 is less than 4. You do not change the 5. Just change the numbers to the right of the 5s to zeros. 5,234 rounded to the nearest thousands is 5,000. We're going to work with rounding to the nearest dollar. Rounding to a certain place value. To the right of the decimal point are cents. To the left of the decimal point, that little dot, are the dollars. Round the number to the nearest dollar. Say the poem. Find your number. We're dealing with a dollar now, so we have to go to the number 5. Look right next door at the 7. 4 or less, just ignore. 7 is greater than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. 5 or more, add 1 more. 7 is greater than 5, so add 1 to 5. Making it a 6. After changing the 5 to a 6, change all the numbers to the right of 2 zeros. $5.75 rounded to the nearest dollar is $6. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest dollar. Say the poem. Find your number, $9. Circle the number in the dollars place. Look right next door. 4 or less, just ignore. 6 is greater than 4, so go to the next line of the poem, more. 5 or more, add 1 more. 6 is greater than 4, so add 1 to 9. After changing the 9 to 10, change all the numbers to the right with zeros. $9.67 rounded to the nearest dollar is $10. Rounding to a certain place value. Rounding the number to the nearest $10. Say the poem. Find your number. We're dealing with $10 now. To the right of the decimal point are cents. To the left of the decimal point, that little dot, are the dollars. We begin with the 7 in the ones column, the 2 in the tens column, and we don't have any hundreds column. Rounding to the nearest $10, we have to look at the 2. Look right next door, 7. 4 or less, just ignore. 7 is greater than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. 5 or more, add 1 more. 7 is greater than 5, so add 1 to 2. After changing the 2 to 3, and change all the numbers to the right to zeros. $27.25 rounded to the nearest $10 is $30. Rounding to a certain place value. Round the number to the nearest tenth place. Now we're dealing with decimal points. We got 6.973. To the left we have the hundreds place, the tens place, the ones place. Then a decimal point. Then we have the tenths place, hundreds place, and thousands place. It's not the same as ones, tens, and hundreds. Let's look at it now. We're asking for the nearest tens place. So it's to the right of the decimal point, because we have the TH at the end of the tens. Circle the number in the tens place. Say the poem. Look right next door. We have a 7. 4 or less, just ignore. 7 is greater than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. 5 or more, add 1 more. 7 is greater than 5, so add 1 to 9. 5 or more, add 1 more. Change the 9 to a 10. The 10 doesn't actually become a 10, but it goes to the ones column, so the 6 becomes a 7. You have to know your place value and drop the number to the right of the 9. This is different when you're dealing with decimal points. You drop the number because the problem says to the nearest tens place, so you dropped all the other numbers except the tens place. Before we added a bunch of zeros, but now we drop the number to the right of the 9 because we're dealing with the tens place. 6.973 rounded to the nearest tens place is 7. The 0 remains in the tens place because that is where you were rounding to in the question. Rounding to a certain place value. We are now dealing with decimals. If you look at this number, you see a dot in the very center of the screen. That dot is a decimal point. To the left of the decimal point, you see the hundreds, tens, and ones. To the right of that decimal point, you see the tens, hundreds, and thousands. Please notice that when I'm using a decimal point, I have to line up the decimals. And I actually lined up the 2 decimal points on the number below with the place value words. Do you see here? You can see the 2 dots. You have to always line up your decimals. Let's begin this problem. You know what a decimal is, and you're going to learn how to work with rounding numbers using decimals. Round the number to the nearest hundreds place. I have to look to the right because I have my tens, hundreds, and thousands to the right of the decimal point. In the hundreds place is a 6. Circle the number in the hundreds place. Look right next door. In the thousands place, we see an 8. 4 or less, just ignore. 8 is greater than 4, so go to the next line of the poem. 5 or more, add 1 more. 8 is greater than 6, so you add 1 to 6. Change the 6 to 7 and drop the thousands number. And the reason why I dropped the thousands number is because we're doing it to the nearest hundreds place. We don't need the thousands number. 5.668 rounded to the nearest hundreds is 5.67. You see the 7 is underneath the hundreds place? That's what we needed to round to. No further. That's why we stopped at 7 and we dropped the number next to it. The answer is 5.67, rounded to the nearest hundreds place. Did the poem help you remember how to round? Here's even a shorter method to know when to round. If the number you are rounding is followed by a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, round the number up. Thanks for watching. I hope this was a great lesson for you. Take care for now. Till next time. Check out these books for their academic usefulness.